Welcome back to Code It with AI. I'm Carl Franklin from ep.9, and here for your purple pleasure is Jeff Fritz from Microsoft. How do you do, sir?
I'm feeling fantastic. It is December. We're in the winter months now, and there is some really cool stuff that I've been doing with AI over the last few days that I can't wait to share and talk more about.
Well, we've been working up to this episode. It's all fine and good to use other people's MCP servers, but we're going to create our own, aren't we?
Yeah, right? AI only gets so far when you're just using the stuff that Claude and Gemini and ChatGPT provide. Yeah. What if you want to do your own stuff? So the idea that we wanted to run with here is I want to be able to query and look at the Code It with AI episodes, the episode catalog, using Copilot, right?
Yeah.
And to do that, we can set up a repository with YouTube so that we can go out there and query the playlist and take a look at what episodes are currently out there. And then let's party on that with Copilot and inspect and do some fun things with that. So
I love it.
I wrote a little bit of code of a repository class that provides some interaction with the YouTube playlist. We need a YouTube API key, but once that's provided, we can go through and reach out to YouTube and get data for that playlist and return a list of episodes. And I go and format it appropriately here.
Mm-hmm.
So no big deal. This isn't AI. I'm turning YouTube into my data repository I'm searching against.
Yeah, and it's a nice big repository. So this is a good good demo. And I've used the YouTube API before. I actually have a little tool that I use to select a playlist and give me all the videos in that playlist and search for them and all that kind of stuff. It's standard YouTube API stuff.
Totally. So I wrapped up this class library and I have it accessible inside of a command line tool that uses the MCP SDK. Now that's a lot of acronyms there, right? The Model Context Protocol Software Development Kit for C#.
And this is an official Microsoft thing, or what is it?
Yep. This is a Microsoft library that you can use. You see it there, Model Context Protocol. And we're going to be able to reach in and create a server that runs as a command line tool. We know how to build command line tools. We've been doing that with .NET for years and years. But now we can expose the different ways that the AI wants to call into it so that we can make Copilot a little bit more interesting and compelling for us.
And just for context purposes, we've already used MCPs that run in Node.
Yep.
Right. And then we also said, but you can create MCP servers, anything, and any kind of executable with standard in, standard out, which is just a way to talk to the executable. But ultimately, the executable is going to be calling this Model Context Protocol server to do the dirty work, right? To do the heavy lifting.
Totally. Yep.
Got it.
And one of the easiest ways to do it is right here at the command line. So we've got a command line project that we've got built here. I'm adding user secrets so that I can put my API key hidden off somewhere else.
Yep.
Little bit of console logging. And then here's where we actually add the MCP server. So we're configuring this project as an MCP server. So we have these extension methods, add MCP server with standard IO server transport. So working at the command line. And we're going to pass in a collection of tools that I call the Code It with AI tools.
Okay.
And here they are right here. So we can have all this written as one file.
Yeah.
So I'm decorating this with a couple of attributes. The class is decorated with this MCP server tool type to indicate there's tools inside of this class that you can start finding and working with. And then we decorate our tools with the MCP server tool attribute. It's a method that we're going to be executing. And we give it a description. Now, the description is the standard system component model description attribute. And it's important the text that you put in here is how Copilot is going to decide to execute this method.
Yeah. Because I remember when we used Playwright last week, you didn't actually tell it to use Playwright. You just said, go out and get the latest .NET Rocks episode and play it.
Yeah.
Right. So it knows you're basically creating a little context here for it.
Exactly. Right. We're giving it a little bit of background information, and I'm just reaching out to that episode repository, passing in my YouTube API key, and returning a collection of episodes. No filtering, no sorting, just give me that list of episodes.
Neat.
So pretty easy to take a look at and work with here.
Yeah.
Now let's actually wire this up to Copilot when this runs, right? I just want to run this inside of Copilot. So inside my panel here, what I'll do is I'll go down to the tools down here at the bottom, and I'll click the little MCP button right up here. Now we're going to go through the graphical way to do this, and then we'll talk about how we can do this with some code in a little bit. So I want the standard IO, and the command that we're going to run is quite simply .NET run project MyMCP. And I'm going to call this, let's call this MyMCP Server. Sure. Only run it in this workspace, and it generates this MCP JSON file.
Right. We've seen this before.
The same things we saw before, all formatted nicely for us. So now I can go over here, and if we start a new chat session, click into my tools list here, and you'll see there's my MCP server.
Nice.
So we'll turn that on. We'll tell it to update the tools, and it will actually start it and have it in the background and show us the tools that are available. Get episodes.
Look at that.
So now let's say okay to that. And over here in the chat box, let's ask it a question. How many episodes of Code It with AI are currently available? And it's going to go and figure it out. Currently 9 episodes. There we go.
Very cool.
So, and then because it knows how to use that, now we can start to ask some other interesting questions, like, is there an episode involving scheduling? And it's going to take a look at that list and filter and come back. Episode 5.
There you go.
So this already feels like we're building an API here that we've already got in other places. We've already got endpoints and JSON endpoints that do these things, RESTful endpoints that do this for us. Wouldn't it be great if we could just add it on to our existing ASP.NET apps?
Yeah.
And you can with the HTTP bindings that we have for it.
Nice.
So there is a package, Model Context Protocol ASP.NET Core. These are all in preview state. But what I'm able to do with this one now is I can add that same repository object, right? I'm passing in my YouTube API key.
Yeah.
I've already got my map get to show the episodes for a RESTful endpoint, but I'll set up that same tool class right over here that does the exact same thing. So the same code works in other places, and we're able to load it up and present it. Now, one thing that I've done to try and make this a little bit easier for us to find and work with the rest of our project, down here it says add app map MCP, and it's specifying here's the route that we're going to connect and listen for MCP interactions on. So /MCP. If we put it up at the root of the website, it could collide with some of your pages, some of your other APIs, and you don't want those generated endpoints to mess things up. So let me run this in the background. So this needs to be running in the background because it's a website. It's going to be out there doing its thing. So we have the port here, the address. I can just copy that, and I will update my MCP here. And I'm just going to remove the old one here. I'm going to stop that, delete it, and I will add that MCP real quick here. So I'm going to choose HTTP this time. And the address is that/MCP. And sure, call it that. Put it in my workspace. There it is. And you can see down here that Visual Studio Code has actually already interacted with it.
Wow. Nice.
I'll open a new chat and I'll ask it, what are the episodes of Code It with AI that were published in October 2025? And we'll see it hit the MCP. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to come back and tell us.
That's great.
Really great stuff. And of course, we can load these into the command line, and then we can interact with the browser and tell it, hey, go open the browser to go browse to that episode and start playing it.
Yeah.
Really, really neat and easy to add on to your existing websites and APIs that you've been building.
And really, it's no different from what we do as programmers all along. We create another layer of abstraction so that a particular protocol or a particular thing can access the stuff that we already have. It's not that we're reinventing the wheel. We're just providing another on-ramp to our data.
Totally.
Yeah.
Right.
Except now you can connect all you can connect Copilot to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Woo! Wow, that's fantastic, Jeff. Any other things that you want to mention? Maybe the resources that you've listed on the GitHub page?
Absolutely. So if you take a look at the GitHub page, I walk through and give you some instructions if you want to get an API key from YouTube so you can try out this sample. And I have a couple of links there to the blog posts announcing the Model Context Protocol SDK for C#, as well as some samples and the NuGet package so you can download and add them to your project.
That's great, Jeff. Thanks. And hey, if you've got a suggestion or idea for Code It with AI, send it to Jeff and me at codeitwithai at appvnext.com. And we will check it out. And who knows, maybe you'll get a mention on the show. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you next time.
Take care, friends.
Thanks for watching. Make sure to check out blazertrain.com and blazerpuzzle.com for more great content.